Hello, Fenton here. I'm gonna do some videos for you about puzzle games over the next few weeks because I want to and I need a hobby. The therapist said, get a hobby, not in a rude way, just to get me out of bed. So I'm gonna talk about puzzle games because I like puzzle games and I don't really have the energy to be doing long form 200 episode let's plays of farms and stuff. But we'll start with this and we'll take it from there and we'll see how it goes. Um, this is Tametsi. There's some good options in the beginning in a little pop-up window, but I didn't find a good way to be able to capture it. But basically, there's quite a lot of settings to get the game to display how you want, including the actual raw numbers of the game, which we'll go into now. So let's start a new profile. It's Minesweeper, but not as we know it, Jim. It's Minesweeper. It does get more interesting than this, I can assure you. Please stick around. Tiles that share a side are neighbours. Numbers tell you how many neighbours have mines. So this square has 3 mines, but there's only 3 tiles. Hooray, that's really bright, and I don't know if that's going to be too loud of a noise. Let's carry on. If you are sure that a tile has no mine, left click to reveal that tile. Now here's the key. Every puzzle can be completed without guessing. Alright? So like a Sudoku or a crossword. No, that's not true. You guess it anyway. So we know that these 3. So we know that we can click this one, and this one, and this one, and this one with no danger. There's no danger. You see? Oh my god, it's so bright. Why? I'm sure it never used to do that. Right. The number in the upper right starts as the number of grey mines. 12. It counts down as you flag grey tiles, even if you are wrong. Right, so we can just guess these ones. This is another interesting thing, is you may have made an assumption over here that's wrong, and then you get over here and you go boom, because you accidentally clicked. You thought it was safe because of your foolish assumptions. Oh, it has to be this. So we don't have to guess it, even though we have no clues for these. We don't have to guess because we know there are no more mines left. Please. Please stop. Please. Okay. Another twist. They're not always hexagons. Whoa! It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? I know. This one has 18 mines. So let's get to it, shall we? These squares seem to only indicate that there are 2, and there are only 2 neighbours. So there we go. And then we've sussed out this. And this, in fact. And these. Good lord. Game's flipping easy, mate. Don't know what you're talking about. Thought you wanted to play something to get the old brain cogs working. And you're playing this. It's too easy. It's too easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, there we go. So that one's fine. That one's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one of these. But it has to be one of these 2, right? Because it has to be one of the... So there's also a pen, right? There's also a pen. Imagine. Let's do hot pink. So obviously it's this, but it's either one of these 2, right? I mean, that's not very helpful notation, is it? It's either this one or this one. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not 2 anymore, it's 1. Because we know about this one. Yeah? See? Happy. So we can... What was my point? Oh, that's right. Because we've already got 4 of these 5, and we know it's one of these 2, we know it's not this one. And because then this is 2, it's either this one, it's this one and this one, thereby releasing the deadlock and allowing us to progress. Very carefully, because I am not particularly checking my work, because these are quote unquote easy levels, and I want to really get a bit more meat on these bones of the contents. Are we good? Oh my god, it is so shocking. Some tiles contain a question mark. They can have any number of neighbouring mines, including 0. Well, goddamn. So, 0. We've solved it. We've done it all. Yeah, you see this up here? Can you see it? It says 0. So, we just click this one. Squares. On some puzzles, tiles that meet at a corner are neighbours. A yellow symbol above the mine count will let you know. So this is more like your classic Minesweeper. So this 1 actually could be any of these 5, as opposed to just these 2. And some of the harder levels, in my opinion, are where this isn't here, and this 1 can only mean these 2, and you have to sort of ignore what your brain is telling you, that you're getting information about these, because you're not, from this 1 at least. Anyway, let's go into this. So obviously these 2, and one of these 2, but because it's one of these 2, it can't be any of these, because either of these 2 will satisfy this information here. I am wiggling my cursor around. I cannot remember for the life. I don't think I do have my cursor being captured. So let's do all that information again. Because this 1 is either one of these 2, let's make a nice blue colour for the opposite information. Whichever one of these 2 is a mine will satisfy the given information for this 1. So in fact, these are safe. You see? You see what I'm saying? That one, and then this one, and then these, and then this, and then these 3. That one therefore is fine, so is that, and so is that. Numbers beside rows tell how many mines are in that row. They count down as you flag tiles. Right. It's getting a bit more complicated now. So without the numbers, I think this puzzle is impossible, right? If we didn't know this puzzle is impossible. But we'll get to why there's no number here in a minute. So there can only be 3 in this row, and also we need to satisfy these conditions. So, for example, if we assume this is a mine, then this isn't a mine. Whoops. Then this is, then this isn't, then this is, then this isn't, then this is. But that's wrong. But that is the solution to this one here, because that's 4. Okay? So in fact, whoops. So we can do this, and that works for everything. So this one must be the opposite of that, right? It must be this. That satisfies all of these conditions. What do we do about this? I don't know. We know it's 3 though, because of this. Huzzah! Huzzah! And we know what the solution for 3 is. It's that. The white screen is just coming in, just busting in like somebody, like a night terror, like a bête noire, just I should know it's coming, but I don't. And then I'm just offended. Anyway, there is a mine count for each colour in a puzzle. This is one of the settings I was talking about at the beginning. You can either make grey its own colour, or you can have this number be the total number of mines. I decided I wanted it to be its own colour. That's up to you, that's personal preference. Let's bust this quick one out, shall we? 3 must be this. 1. Done. There's one more grey mine left. So obviously that's a mine. Right, now what do we do? Well, obviously this. And obviously these two. There's no blue mines left. So we can click this and these 3. Please, go away. Hover over a row or column hint to highlight the affected tiles. Clicking toggles a persistent highlight. There we go. None of these, as this number signifies the number of mines in the row. And we've got to be aware of corners. Somebody on my Steam, I don't think you can see that. No, you can. That's annoying. Bloody Space Gazelle. Stop. Just pick a game, alright? Just pick one game and play it, okay? Christ. These tick down. I can't remember if that's a setting or not. I can imagine that you probably do want it to tick down, but maybe you don't. Anyway, who knows? So the same logic applies here. Whichever one of these two is a mine, the information for this will be satisfied, so it's not this one. Oh, I've hit a bit of a wall here, haven't I? I believe we can assume that this is safe. To decide exactly what I am deciding to label my thing. Not that it matters. I'm not going to be playing this game for 10,000 hours on video. Just, I believe this one is safe because it can only be one of these, and only one of these. But it has to be 2 of these. So it obviously can't be this one and this one, because then this up here would be incorrect. So it must be this one and this one. Must be mines. I should use pink for mines, but... So then we can brazenly click these without a care in the world. Woof! Yeah, that's right. That's how I get my highs. This one. And one of these 2, because obviously it can only be one of these 1, so it has to be this one, but then we know that this is satisfied, so we can click this, click that. 3 of these, but 2 of these, and 2 of these, 2 more of these, but only 1 of these, and only 2 of these. Oh, but we've done this, we've done these 3, so there we go. 4! 2 of these though, we know that now. So 1 of these, 2, I assume you can see that flashing at least. 1 of these 2, so it has to be this 1, so they're not these 2, not this, not this, not this 1. I believe this is the last of the 10 tutorial levels, and then I'll go and show you some of my main save file, some of the ridiculous things that you can look forward to if you decide to buy this game, which again is called Tametsi, 2019, Grip Top Games, very well done. I liked this a lot, very, just low-key, minimalist, but still complicated and engaging enough, you know, not something like, I can't think of a good example of a game that had a decent principle, but after like 6 or 7 puzzles I was just like, yeah, I feel like I've seen everything now. I feel like I understand. Right, we've got 4 isolated, lots of stuff here to do. So we can use the same logic here. It has to be one of these two because of this number 1 here, which means all of these 3 are totally safe. Same with this number 2 here, and this number 1. Oh no, wait, no, that's the exact opposite of that. It has to be one of these two. It has to be one of these two, but only one of these two. So this has to be a mine, which means this is safe. This is a mine, just by virtue of the fact there's only one next to it. It might be the case that we can't solve this island until we know how many mines are in it, so seeing as I can't immediately think of what next to click, even though there could be a way to work it out, I'm going to move on. One of these, and one of these, one of these, one of these. Ah, there it is. There it is. It's one of these, so it has to be both of these, so that it's 1, 2, 3 in total. So then, because it's one of these and only one of these, we know that this is fine. And then this is fine for the same reason with the number 1. And I need to make sure that you don't see that, because it does. I'll make sure it's fixed on that. So one of these, so these are safe. Right? Which means it's this, which means that's fine, which means it's this. This. Good. Good. Two of these. Is there any way that then you can have all of that, but only 2 of these? So it must only be one of these and one of these, and then this one and this one, right? Because there's no way you have these 2, because then these 2 must be safe, which means you can't then fulfill this at all. So we'll go with this and this. One of these, which means these are safe. 1, 2, 3. All of these? Is that right? Yeah, good. That was easy. Should have started on that side. Probably would have made sense to work from left to right. Oh, start on the right. What am I? One of these. One of these. One of these. That was a good drawing. One of these. One of these. One of these. Wow, that doesn't help at all. Oh no, one of these and one of these. So it has to be this one and this one as well, which makes this safe, and we'll take it from there, right? Okay. So we're back here. We know there's only 3 mines left, and we know 2 of them have got to be here, and one of them has got to be there. There's no overlap between them at all, so this is safe. And this is not safe. Wait. In fact, there's only 2 tiles there anyway, so good one. Good one, me. Right, that's the last time that's going to happen. These are all the levels. So you've done the first 10 tutorial levels, and now these are all the levels. Thankfully, it doesn't do that other horrendous puzzle game design thing where if you can't do level 10, you have to do all the first 10 levels, admittedly, but it doesn't then say, right, you can't see the rest of the 100 levels unless you can do level 11. At least now, at this point, you can just choose one. So let's venture into... yeah, some of them are quite hard. Blue means that you've done it without making a mistake. Because if you make a mistake, you may reset, go back to choose a new puzzle, or click here to undo. You can carry on, but, you know, that's up to you. It's up to you whether you want to accept a simple mistake. Of course... if you do the whole puzzle without making a mistake, it goes blue. If you make a mistake and undo and try again, it only goes white, which, to be fair, you could just look at the solution somewhere or remember the mistake that you made and do the whole thing again. But again, it's a single player game. No one's gonna obviously these, I found them, I did not want to start again. I'd spent too long or I'd gone too far, and I just thought, oh, it's a simple mistake, I'll just live with it, and maybe I'll go back through and do them. So let's just take a look at some of these at random. We'll just look at 20. So this one has got a few colours, a few columns to give out. It's got the rule about all neighbours, even diagonally, so that one's cool. 48. Whoa. Some colour patches, that's a good example. Some big squares that touch smaller squares. That's interesting. So there's actually 8 neighbours on this, the 2 on each side. Series of tubes. That one's quite cool. If you do all of a row, I believe... No, I don't think that's true. I think you just unlock these side ones, certain one of these puzzles. So this is too much information green, so one of these is called too much information, and it's like a remix, like a harder version. I think? Maybe that's wrong. There it is, too much information. So this is too much information, just normal. Lots of information, obviously, that's how it gets the name. And then too much information green, there's a green island in the middle. Red, 0. I didn't even really look at these. I was going to try and do all 100, but as you can see, some of them I just were like, oh. Let's look at some of these ones that I didn't do flawlessly. So windmill, for example, that looks nightmarish, doesn't it? Hilbert curve, deceptively simple, I believe. That one was. Got things like this where the column has information with breaks in it. So it's 4, but like you've got 3 separate chunks to try and work out. Vault door, again. Doesn't look too bad, does it, on the surface? Clearly something went wrong. A lonely glider. That's a Hilbert's Game of Life reference, that is. Wrong game. Look, it's Tetris. That one, obviously, it's got... I think probably what happens here is that you just miscount how many blue squares are on the board, how many green squares are left on the board, and think you're alright. 95. Ripples. Hecagon. H-E, a double hockey sticks are gone. Yep, horrendous. And number 100. Anyway, so that's Tametsi, and this is a video on my YouTube, and I'm going to do other videos. Some of the games I will have played, some of them I won't, and so that'll be interesting to find out. I'm going to go and buy a whole bunch of small 79p puzzle games on Steam, and we'll play them, and we'll see how much of a stupid man I am. So that will be fun. If you got any recommendations as well of little puzzle games, I mean, there's itch.io as well. There's a nice source for that. Puzzle script games. We'll have a look at some puzzle script games, and might even delve into the depths, the hellish depths of little puzzle flash games on Congregate and places like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. How long did this end up being? A cool 24 minutes. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Right. Yeah, thanks, and goodbye, I suppose. Ta-ra.